So we don't know what the next thing's going to be, but we know there will be a thing. There'll be something. So what are we going to do about all of it? Well, this is where we can use behavioural economics, behavioural science to predict the future. How? Why? Because no matter all of this change, we're still humans with reptilian brains. A fun fact, there's 5 million years of evolution on our reptilian brains, only 5,000 years around our limbic part of our brains. So there's a heck of a lot of play. That's just system one, as I spoke about. So how are we going to use it to predict the future? Well, this is, I can send you this after if you want, but you don't really need to read it. It's just an example of how we would actually use it to future-proof our digital strategies. So this is the ad messaging and the pillars around the website, the social channels and the email marketing. These are the behavioural principles that we've identified through our research and our insights as necessary to make the change you want the client to make. Then there's the problem solution and the ad copies on the back of that. I'm going to show you why, next slide, why this thing is future-proof. This is actually taken, we created this just the other week. This is one of our clients, and we have the principle, and there's more under the page, but I couldn't fit them on, around the particular principle that's relevant to them, the barriers to entry as showed by the persona, the brand messaging, the creative inspiration, and of course the ad copy. Now let's say tomorrow there's a movement just as big, just as powerful as Black Lives Matter or Me Too. And we need to, or the floods, right? We've all experienced that, right? We're going to change our messaging because the floods right now, it's such a really good example. Yes, we have to change this part, the ad copy, but we don't have to change that part. So you're halfway there. So your team who writes your messaging can jump back into your strategy, your one page, your strategy on a page, your SOAP, and go, oh yeah, what's the thing that we need to do? Because that's we don't change, not psychologically we don't change. So yeah, the tactic of the ad will change, of course. You know, it will get fatigued, all of those things. But the strategy, what you're setting up, how you speak to this won't change. It's like 80% of your work done. It's just a quick pivot. So how do we do it? This is the exact summary of the run through. Number one, deep research, as we discussed at the beginning. Number two, supercharging your personas with social science insights. Number three, the identification of the behavioural principles that you need to use. Yes, there's over 300. Yes, you must use 10 max. Build out your high fidelity strategy, supercharged by behavioural. Create your comms framework, absolutely necessary. Let's be honest, marketers. How often have we seen big ideas in the strategy and creative development process not get executed? Because they don't have a comms plan, I bet. Number six, create your behavioural ad copy as shown in that matrix before. The only part of this 6-step process that will change is your ad copy. Okay, maybe in 10 years we'll need to change our behavioural principles. Maybe in 5 years our strategy and 3 years our comms framework. But you're not doing it like every month or couple of months as some of us seem to be doing at the moment, because you've done the hard work. That, as I said at the beginning, that 20% upfront. Yes, it's our secret weapon. But I want to keep in mind something. This is natural selection. It's the oldest evolutionary truth we know. It's not the fastest, strongest, fittest, and sexiest that survive. It's the ones that adapt fastest that thrive. The oldest evolutionary truth we know. But I feel sometimes we think about that in a macro sense. What about the micro sense, adapting day to day? A wonderful example of that is a gin distillery. Say, you know, when they couldn't sell through COVID, they created hand sanitizers just like overnight, kept them in business, a lot of them, which the question remains, how different are the two? So this is what I mean by future-proof, right? In such a chaotic time, and it is chaotic, predicting the future is almost impossible. But as I said, no matter what the next Black Lives Matter, Me Too, or COVID is, behavioural marketing, behavioural science, behavioural economics, they will give you that framework, that guide to adapt in real time by understanding what truly and fundamentally drives us. You will have clarity. And yes, technology is expanding. We're starting to look at the metaverse and things like biometric data. You know, we're starting to look at TikTok, all of those things, right? It will serve you. And this quote for me, I love it so much. The essence of strategy is choosing what not to do. And behavioural helps us do that because we can do just about anything now. But behavioural marketing puts the crosshairs on. It focuses on what we should do. That's the summary. Proper qual research, science-backed personas, behavioural marketing strategy. This is a linear flow, by the way. You can't kind of jump in and swap stuff around. It's linear. Comms framework, problem solution, behavioural copy. Obviously, advertising creation as well. Press go, measure, iterate, and then work out what principles are lighting a tribe up. I've seen this stuff literally change the colour of the packaging on one of our clients. And it worked for them.